All right, so here we are going to try to prove that triangle CDE is congruent to triangle CBE. So CDE is congruent to CBE. And we're going to use some of our triangle congruence theorems to prove that. So we have angle, angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, 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 hypotenuse, leg, and side, angle, side. So we have those 5 tools for proving that triangles are congruent. Right now we know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So these 2 angles are congruent. And angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. So these 2 angles are also congruent. So really we have part of this triangle being congruent to part of that triangle already. We have those angles. We also know that we're going to have this side. Since that is a part of both triangles, we're going to be able to use the reflexive property at some point to show that it's congruent to itself and it's a part of both triangles. So we have an angle and a side. We either need this angle for angle, side, angle, or this side for angle, side, angle, side. So let's see, really, since this is a fill in the blank, let's see where this proof is going. This is saying that CBA is congruent to CDA. CBA is congruent to CDA. So those 2 triangles are congruent. We want to get to that statement. At some point we're using the reflexive property here. So right now we know that angle and that angle are congruent. We're going to use the reflexive property to show this side is congruent to itself. This side CA is congruent to itself, because then we have this angle, this side, and this angle, angle, side, angle, showing that this big triangle is congruent to this big triangle. And the reason we really want that is because now we have this side in common between those congruent triangles. They are corresponding parts, and they are congruent in congruent triangles. That part and that part are corresponding in these 2 congruent triangles. So we're going to say that CD is congruent to CB. And that is really what I was looking for. So now I'm actually just going to say that this is congruent to itself. CE is congruent to CE. And so I have angle 1 and 2 being congruent. I have these 2 segments congruent, and I have these 2 segments congruent. So I have side, angle, side to show that the triangles are also congruent.